Hey there YouTube, this is Vargas XX78 with another collection pickup video, comic book edition. Just wanted to share with you guys the comic books that were at the comic book store and got piled up for the last 4 weeks. So let's get started with Amazing Spider-Man issue 17.1. If I'm honest, I'm really getting kind of tired of Marvel doing these whole 17.1 things to extend the books that they're releasing. Because they have two different storylines going. They have the point storylines, which are the mob war storyline, and then they have the main storyline, which is this terrorist in Parker Industries. So I kind of understand why they're doing it. They want to release and finish up their stories before the big reboot in Secret Wars. But it's kind of hard on my wallet, and it's really annoying that there's no consistency. You know, like you would read one part of the Parker story, then you'd read the second part, the next part of the gang war, then it's back to Parker Industry, then it's back to the gang war. So it's very inconsistent. If they were gonna do that, I would have preferred they just plowed through the mob war and then finished up with Parker. But yeah, it's my one complaint. But I got the variant edition on this. Then picked up Amazing Spider-Man 18, where that terrorist is successful, and he does collapse Parker Industries. So it's a shame because this is the one thing, just like when Peter Parker was working at Horizon, this is the one thing that I was interested in what Spidey Ock was doing. Dr. Octopus gave Peter Parker his doctorate, and he built Parker Industries as a means to give Peter Parker legacy. And I really hate the Parker luck that everything seems to be going really well for Spider-Man. He's working in something that he can develop his intellect, and then it comes crashing down, and that's stupid and annoying. But that's going to be out of the way with Secret Wars. This is Secret Wars issue 1 of 8. This is Marvel's big event where the Marvel multiverse is dying out. And in this one, the Marvel Universe and the Ultimate Universe collide, and they're fighting between each other, and at the end, everything goes to white and then black. So this has been heralded as the end of the Marvel Universe, as well as the Ultimate Universe. So I think what they're doing is that they're gonna mash up all the multiverses into one single world. So you're gonna have the Marvel zombies with the with all these, with the Age of Apocalypse or Age of Ultron and so on. But I don't know. Like I mentioned before in my videos, I'm not a big fan of this decision. I like the Marvel Universe continuity. It's the one consistent continuity for the most part. I mean, they retcon a few things here and there, but it's been the most consistent continuity in comic books because DC has wiped out and then brought back their multiverse so many times that it's gotten boring and pointless. But to see Marvel do it, it's really annoying, and I'm not happy for the future of the Marvel universe. Avengers 44 also came out, but the comic book store that I go to didn't get enough copies, and my copy got lost in the shuffle. So the store manager said that he would get me a copy because they only had the variants, but those were $10, a little bit more expensive, and he couldn't give me the cover price for that variant because that one was one of the rare ones. So unfortunately, I don't have Avengers 44, which is the end of the Avengers comic book, and that leads up that's the lead up to that and New Avengers, but unfortunately couldn't get that one, so I don't know what happened before this. The next comic book that I picked up that I wasn't sure I was going to pick up, but I decided, what the hell, it sounds so ridiculous, it might be awesome, is Archie versus Predator. The Predator goes to hunt down the guys from Archie Comics. And I remember a couple of years ago they released a Archie Meets the Punisher, which also seemed like a ridiculous concept, but it worked out as a story. So yeah, there's another one of these covers that has the Predator looking more realistic, But this is the one that I was able to get, and it looks cool. So it's part one of a 4-issue miniseries, and let's see if it keeps up the momentum. This is a comic book that I wanted to talk about, Batman 40, the last part of the Endgame. I've been really loving this storyline. Truth be told, ever since the reboot, the New 52 Batman series has been amazing, and this promises to be the last battle between Batman and the Joker, and it certainly seems that way. I'm kind of torn on this book because visually it's really cool. It's written very well, I think, but I'm gonna give you some big spoilers at the end. Batman and the Joker seemingly die together in a collapsing underground cave because the Joker had got this healing factor from this Lazarus pit kind of pit full of this chemical that gave him healing factor. So Batman finds that because he needs a sample of that to create a cure for the Joker virus. So he has this big last battle with the Joker. The Joker beats up Batman really bad. He stabs him in the back, throws a Joker playing card on his face, so he has a Joker playing card stab in his eye. Basically, Batman's dying out. The Joker's back is broken by a accidental collapsing part of the cave, and he's trying to crawl into the Lazarus pit, the healing pit, and Batman stops him. So the pit collapses. So basically, they're both kind of screwed. So at the end of the issue, Bruce Wayne and the Joker seemingly die because the cave collapses on itself, and they're still there. So both of the Joker and Bruce Wayne are good at escaping death scenarios. But with the amount of blood loss, the injuries, and the cave collapsing, it would be interesting to see how they actually bring back Batman and the Joker. But I'm kind of torn because it was to me anyway, it was a good storyline, and it was interesting to see possibly Batman and the Joker's last battle. I mean, with Convergence, or somewhere down the line, they reboot everything and they bring back Bruce Wayne and the Joker. Well, this would be a pretty cool standalone side story. But if this is main continuity and they're props to DC for actually doing this, because the last time they killed Batman, they didn't really kill him; they sent him back in time. But this seems like they're both dead. The Joker and Batman are dead. So I'm kind of torn. It sucks to see Batman and the Joker possibly dead. Well, all in all, I think it was a good storyline. So yeah, definitely recommend this one for all the Batman and Joker fans. Picked up issue 2 of Convergence, Batman and Robin, where Batman, Damian Wayne, and Jason Todd are fighting, these conversion acts. This is book 2 of 2. Wasn't really at first thinking of picking them up, but picking any of the Convergence books, but it's Batman and Robin, and it's good to see and to revisit characters from before the reboot, so that's why I picked that one up. On that note, I also picked up the Convergence issue of Adventures of Superman, because I really like the cover, and the storyline focuses on Supergirl. This is the pre-Crisis of Infinite Worlds Supergirl and Superman. So in this one, they fight some Phantom Zoners. So I collected Adventures of Superman, and I really liked the cover again. I thought the cover was beautiful. Picked up Convergence issue 2, where the Batman from Earth 2, Thomas Wayne, meets up with the Batman Incorporated, Bruce, and they have a nice talk. Picked up 3, where to stop the bad guys from Batman Incorporated universe, Thomas Wayne kills himself. He gets everyone close together to him, and then he sets off bombs in his suit, which kills himself and everyone else, leaving Dick Grayson to possibly become they do very strongly hint that Dick Grayson is going to be the Batman of Earth 2. Here, the Justice Society liberates this demon guy, Deimos, who wants to take control of everything. He wants to take control of Tellus, the planet, and Brainiac. And that comes to a head in issue 5. So this miniseries has 3 more issues to go. Honestly, so far, I haven't enjoyed it as much. It focuses entirely on the Justice Society and their battle with Tellus and Deimos and Brainiac, but the big fights promised aren't happening in this. They're happening in the standalone book, so I don't know. I think Convergence was an interesting premise, but the execution is not that cool. If I'm honest with you, I expected, to visit worlds from before the New 52 reboot and see everyone fight and so on, but that hasn't been the case. Picked up Justice League 40, which is the prelude to the Anti-Monitor Darkseid War. It's revealed that the Anti-Monitor used to be apparently a new god called Mobius, who used to be owner of the Mobius chair that Metron is using, and he wants to escape his fate and go back to being a new god, and the only way to do that is to destroy the universe by killing Darkseid. And it's also revealed that Darkseid has a daughter that's helping the Anti-Monitor. So this is the big storyline that's going to kick off once the universe stops doing the convergence thing. Picked up Return of the Living Deadpool, issue 4. Really good storyline. I really dug the first Night of the Living Deadpool. In this one, a rogue Deadpool broke off from the hive mind of the Deadpool from Night of the Living Deadpool, and is helping out the humans, who discover a machine that would turn this Deadpool, the good Deadpool, into a carrier agent for a virus that would kill off the Deadpools. So that Deadpool heroically sacrifices himself to stop the Deadpool horde. Great book. It's a great storyline. I really dig this one. I don't think they'll make a return to this universe, but I really dug this. The next Deadpool miniseries is going to be Deadpool's Secret War, where Deadpool gets sent back into the original Secret War and plays a part in that. So I might pick that one up. Picked up Simpsons Comics issue 220, where Ned Flanders takes control of Moe's bar, and hilarity ensues. Picked up Star Wars issue 4, which intertwines with part of the Darth Vader comic book, wherein Darth Vader is doing official negotiations with Jabba the Hutt, and he talks about Obi-Wan, and now Darth Vader wants to, track down Obi-Wan's home, as well as Luke Skywalker's. Luke Skywalker also wants to return to Tatooine and see if there's any clues from Ben Kenobi. So, loving the Star Wars books. This one and Darth Vader are amazing. Picked up Superman 40, where Superman asks the Justice League to help him test out those new Nova Flare powers, which of course he's trying to use and control, but also wants to test the limits on them. And this is going to leave him powerless. I've already read online that I wasn't able to go to the free comic book day, but I did read online that the free comic book for DC Divergence gave 3 big plot points for Batman, Superman, and the Justice League. For Batman, there's going to be a new, that ridiculous Batman in armor, but they reveal that it's Jim Gordon. Jim Gordon, realizing that Gotham needs Batman, puts on Batman's mech suit, and he's going to try to, fill the hole left by Batman. Knowing that it's Jim Gordon, I don't feel quite as upset. If it would have been a random character, even though I hate the costume, the mech costume really does look very ridiculous. Knowing it's Jim Gordon doesn't upset me that much. Superman, however, is going to go through another big change because Lois Lane outs him. Lois Lane reveals that Clark Kent is Superman, so now the whole world knows he's Superman. But because he used his Nova Flare, he's powerless. So all the bad guys are after him, and he has no powers to protect himself. So I don't know. That seems like a big change for Superman. You know, losing his Clark Kent identity. But we'll see how that works out for Superman. And the other one is the Darkseid's Anti-Monitor War. Picked up Superman Convergence issue 2 of 2, where a powerless Superman has to protect Gotham and find his pregnant wife, because in this storyline, Lois Lane is pregnant with Superman's baby. So and that concludes here in issue 2. So again, I really like looking back and revisiting the characters from. I really miss, you know, the married Superman to Lois Lane. Superman and Wonder Woman is a good concept, but because I followed it for so long, the marriage, just like with the marriage with Spider-Man and Mary Jane, the marriage between Superman and Lois Lane was a part of my comic book collecting, and I do honestly miss that, and I do hope it would come back. But now with Superman losing his secret identity, I see that being very impossible. Picked up Convergence Swamp Thing, loving Swamp Thing. This is the Swamp Thing from the old universe, where it's a plant that thinks he was Alec Holland. Here, when the domes came into effect, he lost his powers, and he was trying to survive as best he could with Abigail. But by the end of the issue, when the domes come down in Convergence, he gets his powers back, but he has to protect Abigail from vampires. The best part about this is the artwork by Kelly Jones, and it's written by Swamp Thing writer whose first name I forget, but it's Wayne, and really cool. I really dug this. Picked up Amazing X-Men. I don't know if this is the last issue of Amazing X-Men or if they're gonna close the series down with a number 20, but this is the last storyline to the Juggernaut series. Kane Marco gets the power of the Juggernaut, and he gets even more power than he originally had. The X-Men are frantically trying to take off the helmet, but they realize that even without the helmet, they can't do anything to stop Juggernaut. Juggernaut Kane Marco has been given so much power that he's 1,000 times more powerful than before. He even has the power to kill Sidorak. So, yeah, his power levels have been increased, which I don't know what's going to really mean anything with the Secret Wars reboot, but it's good to see Kane Marco back. He is, and now will be the once and future Juggernaut. So it's good to see him back in the role. But again, I don't know what's going to happen with Amazing X-Men. I don't know if this is the last issue. Picked up Uncanny X-Men issue 33, where Alien and Rasputin and Kitty Pryde, I think, go to fight off monsters because they're sick and tired of all the antics Cyclops has been doing. And the last issue I picked up is Witchblade 182, where this millionaire that brokers in ancient artifacts and magic wants to hire Sarah Panisi to be her agent. Still on the fence on Witchblade. I don't know if, I'm going to keep collecting it. The character has sentimental value to me because I've been collecting it for 182 plus issues. And Ron Mars is a good writer, but ever since he came back, I don't know, his Witchblade has felt different. So I'll still keep collecting Witchblade until it completely goes down the hole, I guess. But that was a comic book pickup video. Like I said, some good reading, some big changes, both to DC with the death of Batman, the outing of Superman, and Marvel with the death of the Ultimate and the Marvel Universe. I don't know how things are going to plan out, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to some things, but at the same time, I'm dreading others. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with the whole shebang. But I'm definitely going to cut down on comic book series that are going to get canceled, and I have no interest in getting after the reboots. But like always, I would like to make the recommendation of the haul, and I'm going to go with Star Wars. I recommend Darth Vader a little better than Star Wars, but this is still a pretty good read. And for every Batman fan, Batman issue 40. I've heard mixed reviews on this. I've heard that longtime Batman fans hated the idea of Batman and the Joker dying. The story and the artwork itself are pretty cool. The battle between the Joker and the Batman is very brutal, very bloody. But again, just like with Wolverine, props to DC for taking this huge risk and killing off their two biggest characters, Batman and the Joker. At least seemingly killing off. They're probably going to return in some fashion somewhere down the line, either by another universe reboot, or maybe the cave collapse and open up more of that healing liquid. I don't know, but props to DC for taking a risk. That's one thing that comic book companies need more of. They need to take risks. So we'll see what happens down the line, but definitely recommend issue 40 of Batman and, again, the apparent death of Batman and the Joker. But like always, guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate the views, the thumbs up, and whatever comments you would like to leave. Till I see you all again, this is Vargas XX78, thanking you and signing out.